So that was a lot more complicated than it was really meant to be. The doors didn't work on the night jet train, so they kept saying half an hour late, and 3/4 late. Eventually got to 2 hours. They said, nah, cancelled. At which point several hundred people who were not in the best moods went down to check out the information. The guy in information was handing out forms to apply for hotel payment. But Google said there was another way to go using 3 different trains. And the lady in the counter agreed. She knew there was a way with 3 different trains. So she gave me a letter that said, use these 3 different trains. So I went back up, and an hour or so later the first train left. First train wasn't too bad, there was space on that. It was busier than it should have been, but there was space. Second train to Munich. There was a standing room for the first hour or so, and then people got off at Cologne. So I got a seat on that one for a while. And then the third one was from Munich to Vienna, where I am now. And I had a seat for the first couple of hours, but then it turned out the seat I was in had been reserved by somebody, so I went and sat on the floor. Oh, I'm now in Vienna. We know what that means. And I've got coffee and a croissant, so that'll be a good start for my day. I'm not really meaning to be here. This was just on the way to the dinosaurs. And I'm not going in the house because you have to pay for the house, but the gardens are free. And the gardens are quite good. Hold the Belvedere. Not the Belvedere that used to be in Glasgow, a different Belvedere. Anyway, have a swatch at the gardens. Maybe almost as good as Beech Grove. Almost as good as the Beech Grove. Not as good. I mean, Jim and George and Carol could obviously do a lot better than this, and they would probably have some rhubarb and maybe tomatoes. Yes, I said tomatoes. But it's not too shabby. Oh, it's a pond. 2 ponds. At least 2 ponds, possibly more ponds. Anyway, onwards to the dinos. Elvis Aaron Presley, who I yield to no man in my appreciation of, is often an underestimated sage of our times. Because in one of the songs in GI Blues, he said that there were always signs saying, keeping Z off the grass. Well, he was right. It's right here. So Elvis, you may have died a bit beefy in the bathroom, but you were right about the signs. I'm not very impressed by the treatment of the alligators over here. That's definitely a bit rough on the alligator, or crocodile, or whatever it is, but definitely a bit rough. There's a line in Forbidden Planet where Doc Ostro has taken a cast of the claw print from the monster from the Id, and then he says it's a monstrosity, and this thing runs counter to every known rule of adaptive evolution. Check that. It's half lady, half lion, and it's got wings. So I guess it's a third lady, a third lion, and a third bird with boobies. But also wings. There's no keel on the sternum for the attachment of flight muscles. So what's this thing supposed to do? I mean, it's nuts. And as Doc Ostro said, counter to all known rules of adaptive evolution, it could actually be in itself a monster from the Id. Just when you think the Sphinx with boobies is Fruit Loops, you find that, see the thing that I thought was an alligator being seriously harmed by a guy grabbing its face? It's not an alligator. It's a booby dragon. Yes, a dragon with boobies. I mean, they took Fruit Loops from there and they went Guns of Navarone with it, because dragons, boobies, no, it's just wrong. Dragons with boobies is a big no-no, but these dragons are booby dragons. Right there, boobies on a dragon. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Well, this is crazy as feck. There's a big monument here for Soviet forces that were winning World War II. I mean, everybody knows John Wayne won World War II. That's who did it. It was John Wayne. I've seen it. It was John Wayne. There's also a fountain there, and this is not a waterproof camera, So I'm going to swap to a different camera because, yeah, pocket threes are great for many things, but waterproofness is not one of them. Now I was just getting some shots of the fountain and the not John Wayne monument here, so that in post I can pan and get a lovely ease in, ease out, nice regular pan. And obviously I was timing it in elephants. Now if you're not Scottish and in your 50s or so, that might seem strange. It's because of a film called Gregory's Girl, where things are timed in elephants. It's inevitable. We will time things in elephants. So it's the actual house. Let's see a little thing down there. So let's have a colour stretch. It's a museum, so museums aren't always fun to watch. But still the stairwell was quite impressive. A model of how the apartment might have looked. Huge amount of furniture, which they got from his death list. I'm here in the dining room. There's a Gastzimmer, Salon, Spielzimmer, so a games room, servants room, Vorzimmer, vestibule, Arbeitszimmer, study. So we only had the one floor there, didn't have the whole building.